Welcome to Bear, brought to you by Giddy, the world's largest sexual health platform. I know that for you, health and fitness plays such a big role in who you are as a person, as a partner, as a parent. But I want to hear a little bit more like what it means to you, the importance of it for you.
You know, it's interesting because I really could have cared less about my health when I was like a teenager and very early 20s. And when I stepped into who I truly was, like my authentic self as Aydian, I actually started to see a vision of what my future could be. And then I started realizing like, well, like if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm probably not going to have like a very happy future because I'm not taking care of myself in so many facets outside of like your stereotypical like health and fitness. It was more just like, I just wasn't treating my body right. I wasn't treating myself right. My body, meaning like my physical body, my mind body, all of those things together, you know? And once I started actually seeing that I could, wait a second, like I could maybe grow old, right? Like maybe I could have a happy life in some capacity, which just felt so far from reality when I was younger that it started to take shape. And being a transgender man, my body the body I was born in didn't match who I was. And so I found the fitness aspect a really good way for me to start to be able to see who I was internally, start to show itself on the outside. And that's when I like started to fall in love with it and like maybe went a little OD, but I've reeled it in now. I feel like I'm healthier with my fitness and lifestyle journey here.
Yeah. What do you mean like overdid it? Like what did that look like?
I mean, like I have a hard time I don't even want to say admitting, but I have a hard time saying that I developed an eating disorder because I was fully functioning and but it was the way in which I was viewing food was disrupting my friendships and my partner Jane Lee and I's relationship. And it was this imbalance that started happening. And so I say I have a, like, it's not that I don't want to like say I had an eating disorder. Yeah. It's just, I know so many people who have an eating disorder that's intense and really disrupts so much of their life, you know? And mine was just more like my friends being like, dude, like, I don't like to go to the concert with you because like you won't eat anything and then I feel crappy and all of these things. So it got to the point where my wife, Jane Lee, was a few months pregnant with our son. And she looked at me and was like, you will not raise our kid to view food the way you view food. And if you don't go to therapy and get help for this, like, I don't know what we're going to do in the future. Yeah. And so it was like a really hard moment for me that realized that what was really helping me in my transition and feeling healthy just kind of skewed to a really negative place, where it was more obsessive and, you know, controlling and binging and restricting. And so I went to therapy for about 8 or 9 months and I started to learn to meditate, which was really helpful. I started to learn to breathe and control some of my anxiety. Like when we were like going food shopping, I would have a lot of anxiety. And I just kept up with those practices. And then we had our son, Antler, and I just started loosening up and realizing that like I can have fun and like I don't have to look photo magazine fitness ready. Like I can just be a healthy, happy guy, you know, who likes to work out, and you know, that could just be it, and I could be happy that way. So it took a couple of years to like learn and relearn how to view food and how to view my body, that my health is not directly like what you see is not health in people's bodies. And that I had to relearn that illusion that I had learned from everyone, right? Everyone who's like, oh wow, like, you're ripped, you must be like, they're super healthy. And like, have you, like, I don't know, maybe we should look into this, you know?
I think that's an important thing to talk about. Like you're saying, like the hard part of acknowledging it, because I think so many people, especially in queer spaces, are like, I can't, like, quote, can't have an eating disorder because I look X, Y, and Z, or like, it's not that bad because X, Y, and Z. But I think it's important to talk about it and share it, because I think so many of us go through it, especially like now listening to your story. And I have other friends who are trans too, who are like, I was able to, quote, create the body that I wanted, but it does kind of sometimes get to that like, obsessive level. So I think it's important to talk about it for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think anybody, trans or cis or non-binary, like anybody, you think that we all have, for some reason, created this illusion that if I could look this kind of way, I'm going to be happy, people are going to love me, everything's going to be great, right? And like, I looked the way that I thought all of those things would be great, and I would have no dysphoria, and then the only thing would happen is like I could go into like my bathroom, look in my mirror, lift my shirt up and see 6-pack abs, and then I put my shirt down and everything else in my life was exactly the same. It didn't change anything. It didn't change anything, you know, except like my likes on Instagram. If I posted a shirtless photo, it was like, I'm gonna get more likes on that photo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's interesting how we have this like belief system that if we can look a certain way, we'll feel a certain way. And it's really not real.
Yeah. Well, like you said, the importance of doing everything, like meditation, journaling, going to therapy. My friend is a therapist, and we've been talking about that too, of like, if you don't like yourself in one body, and that's a mental thing, you're not going to like yourself in a, quote, thinner body, or if you look any differently, if you're not doing that sort of, like you're saying, the wraparound taking care of yourself as well.
Yeah, you gotta learn it the hard way. I mean, I hope that less and less people have to learn it that way. Hope that we can like share more of that story. And like, I feel like I do, but then I always meet people who are like, really? And I'm like, man, I guess I need to talk about this more. But it's like, you know, I'm still going through it. Like,
it's a process.
I'm still like having moments where I'm like, oh man, like struggling.